And welcome to CAWcreations. This is Cheryl Can on Instagram and Ravelry, Cheryl Ann at CAWcreations.org. It is March 9th. I don't know where February went to. We were supposed to go away and our whole vacation got canceled by Sunwing, so things were topsy-turvy for a little while there, and I didn't end up getting a recording done for February. But here we are, it's March, so I'm going to start with my whips, works in progress. My first is the Audrey in Unst vest by the Shetland Trader, Gudrun Johnson. I am absolutely loving this. I am using Jamieson's Shetland Spindrift yarn in Sunset. I love how it is knitting up. I've just got the body done here. You can see it's got a twisted rib, and then the body. There, that's closer to the color there. I absolutely love what the color is doing. Yeah, so I'm getting to the point where I'm doing the armhole, and the armhole and the front, you have two options. I'll show pictures of the both of them here. The first option is the regular ribbed edging, and the other is an I-cord edge. And I really like the I-cord edge. It just has 3 buttons at the top. And that's kind of what I like in a cardigan. So I'm thinking I'm going to do the I-cord edging, but I absolutely love how that's knitting up. I don't have any finished objects. Well, I do have finished objects. It's a whole bunch of hats that I've been doing on Connections hat pattern, so that it will be able to be knit in Selkirk worsted. I think this will be really good. I have 2 different rib options for it. I'll post some finished pictures here, but here's a rib where what I've done where the brim turns is I've knit a complete row of knitting all the way around so that the brim will turn easily at that specific point. Anyway, I'm working on that pattern update, and it should be out in the early fall. There's a skull cap version and a turned brim version. I love how the top of the hat does a little star in the large size. So that's another thing I'm working on. And then when we were going to go south, I decided I also wanted to do kind of a light summer knit. This is Johnson's Patterns. I picked another of the patterns from her. So when we were going away, I wanted to knit something that was in linen. So I have this Euroflax wet spun linen, and it is in lavender. I absolutely love the feel of linen to wear. And I picked another one of the Shetland Trader patterns to make a sleeveless shirt. And what I love about this is it uses short rows, Sunday short rows, to create a kind of curve on the bottom here. It will flatten out once it's blocked, but it curves down so that the bottom has a curve to it, the bottom of the sleeveless shirt. And it's got lace work at the top. So I think that will be really nice as well. But like I said, my knitting mojo hasn't really been there for the last little bit. I've been working a lot on, I'm working on a project on traditional knitting in PEI, and I'm kind of putting together a book proposal for my Island Histories studies. So that's been a big part of my focus. I've been putting a lot of time into doing research, academic research into this area, and I'm really looking forward to that. That being said, I've done a lot of reading. I've already talked about the Island book, Death of Darby's Island. The other Island Studies novel that I've read is Island Girl by Jackie uh, Muse, I think, Muise. Um, it's a story of Mary Elizabeth LeBlanc. And what I found really interesting is that it's about a girl who lived in Surrey and then was adopted by a family from St. George's. And St. George's is very near to where I grew up in Launching. And apparently, my mom tells me we're distant relatives from the Glants that are talked about in this book. So that was quite interesting reading it. Again, it's a literary novel, so there's some dark themes, but there's also a lot of island themes of connection and then movement for work and being part of a community and learning to fit in and things like that. The other interesting part is that she ended up having tuberculosis and had to go to a sanatorium. And I had tuberculosis when I was 5 years old and ended up spending 10 days in the sanatorium in Prince Edward Island years and years ago. So it was kind of neat that way to look at this book. But if you get a chance to read it, it's an enjoyable read. It's by Acorn Press, and it's a very short read. It was only about 136 pages. So it's a quick read. It's a great story. It kind of takes you back to an earlier time in Prince Edward Island. So I really enjoyed that. I'm trying to think of what else is going on. I may just leave it there for this time because, like I said, I've been really focused on the academics. I'm part of the board for the PEI Fiber Festival, so I'm looking forward to that. The workshops are coming out in April, and so we've been really setting everything up to get that all ready. And there's some exciting news that's coming up that I can't share until it's shared by the PEI Fiber Festival. So I'm looking forward to them posting that. So I will probably be back with you when I have the news to share. So have a great month, and I will talk to you again soon.
You and I together, we can make it.